So I want to talk about how this one secret that not many people focus enough on is basically the blueprint and the code that the market operates in. So I've been trading for the last 3 to 4 years. I have several funded accounts. I've gotten several payouts, and my trading approach is probably a bit different to a lot of other mentors or gurus. I won't call myself a guru, but traders. And I like to preach how I view trading and the markets and what works for me and what I think is basically useless. So this video I'm going to focus on how you can understand the source code that the market operates in. And I'm going to break down how the market operates step by step so that you understand everything from the top to the bottom. First of all, if you're interested in being mentored by me, I have a Discord link in the bio where I give my daily market analysis and bias. I'm focusing on one pair, so I know everything about that pair, and I try to guide people to trade profitable with that pair. And what is happening in the markets is we start on the higher time frames and we go lower. The market is fractal, which means that everything that happens on all time frames. So we start on the daily time frame, and we understand that we have previous day high and previous day low. One of those is likely to be taken out. It happens 80% of the time that either the previous day high or low gets taken out. Sometimes you can use that as a target, sometimes it's not that easy. And after that, we drop down to the 4-hour time frame, the 1-hour time frame, and the 15-minute time frame. What's interesting to study is that the same happens on those time frames. The 4-hour previous high or low most often get taken out by the next candle, and the same happens on the 1-hour and the 15-minute and then lower time frames. So that means if you're uncertain where to take profits, or if you're uncertain where you want to enter, then you can use that as a reference. That's a confluence. So for example, let's say you are looking to go long in your USD, but you see that the previous 15-minute candle hasn't been taken out, or previous 15-minute candles hasn't been taken out yet. Then you can wait for that to get swept, and then you can go into lower time frames and look for a setup. And that's a hack that works most of the time because the market is always looking to sweep liquidity, and it does so really systematically, which means, think about it this way. The last 4 hours, a lot of people have been going long. And where do they put their stop loss? Probably somewhere in that last 4-hour candle. They have put their stop loss somewhere inside that candle. So the market takes out the whole candle, takes out the candle low, to ensure that every stop loss gets triggered. Then the work is done, then you can look for your setup. But a lot of people try to look for the setup before because they don't understand that the market is fractal and that you need to understand what's happening on the higher time frames and then zoom down. Your entry in the market is actually really simple. For me, it's always just a market structure shift on the 1-minute time frame. It's that simple. Sometimes higher time frames, but the entry in itself is really not that difficult. That's the most easy part. Where do you take an entry? You take an entry when you get a break of structure or a market structure shift on the 1-minute time frame. Then you can take your entry. It's so simple, and you put the stop loss at the swing low. It's that simple. Like, that's your entry. Like, everyone can do this. But if you just take that entry on the 1 minute and you don't understand what's happening on the higher time frames, then that entry is probably not going to work that well. You always need to ensure that you know the higher time frame narrative and you know that like the entry is just, listen to the word entry. It's just a way to enter the market, but you can't just enter at random times, because what you need to look at the market as is, first you go on the higher time frames always, and then you work your way lower and you try to understand what's happening on higher time frames. Has liquidity been swept here? What's happening here? And then when you're sure, like, okay, it took out the previous 15-minute lows down here, then you can go into the lower time frames and look for the entry. But if you look for the entry on the 1 minute before that previous 15-minute candles get taken out, then your entry is probably just going to get swept and your stop loss is going to get triggered. So this is how you need to approach the markets. And you can look at it this way. Let's say you're somewhere around here. All the way down here, like really far down, you have the previous day low. And not so far above, you have the previous day high. Then you can ask yourself, logically, what's more likely to happen? Is the market likely to go all the way down here and take out previous day low, or is it likely to go up and take out the previous day high? And then you can understand the narrative of the market, its probability. Then you can go on the lower time frames. You can look at lower time frame candles like 4 hour, 1 hour, 50-minute previous lows, for example. Wait for those to get swept, and also just look for obvious liquidity as well. And once that gets swept, then you can look for, if you're in the session is it needs to be the right timing, can't just be a random time. In the session where you have volatility, they sweep it at the start of the session, and then you get the market structure shift. It's just to go long, target previous day high. It's that simple. Yet most people overcomplicate it. And if you don't get that, or if you don't get something obvious, just don't trade. Like, that's it. You don't trade every day. Yet most people overcomplicate this process so much. And the thing is, you need to aim for a good risk-reward ratio, because a lot of days you are going to lose either way. And like, this is what trading is all about. You're going to lose, you're going to get so frustrated, because it's not easy. Like, it's not easy. Most of the days you won't make money, but you need to follow this process, and you need to always ask yourself at the end of the session, did I do my job correctly? If you did, then you can't be hard on yourself, because this isn't an easy game. You just need to ask yourself, did I do everything I could? And if that's the case, then there's nothing wrong with you. Like, you did everything you could do. If trading wouldn't work out for you, you haven't done anything wrong. But if you do a lot of stupid trades that don't make sense, then obviously that's on you. And I'm here to help and ensure that people follow their trading plan, follow the process, and actually produce results that they can be proud of. I want my followers to go in at Friday afternoon, look back at the week, and be really proud of not the results, but the way they follow the process. And I try to give my bias, my predictions for the market in my Discord group, and I try to really help people. But what I try to do is I try to help people understand how to trade, not just give them a setup, but tell them in advance what I'm looking for. For example, let's say today we have London session and Asia session. Wrong. Asia session, then London session. And none of them have been swept. That, like, it's really clean sell side liquidity. Then I'm just writing in my Discord, okay, wait for New York session to sweep London and Asia session liquidity, and then wait for a market structure shift on the 1 minute, and then target previous day high. That could give you like 1 to 4, 1 to 5 RR. That's it. It's that simple. It's not that complicated. And I try to help people every single day, because I'm not losing anything on helping people. I'm not going to guarantee you that if you join the Discord, you're going to pass this funded challenge, get this payout. Like, I can't do that for you, but I can increase your probability. And I can give you a bias on where the market is going. But at the end of the day, you have to do the work yourself. Like, everything takes work. You can't just expect that it's going to happen magically. But if you're in this game without proper knowledge or proper understanding, then like, it's not even your fault, but it's just the game is so manipulated that if you don't know exactly what you're doing and what to look for, then you are going to lose. And me myself, like, to get to this point I'm at, like, I haven't just learned all of this stuff for free on YouTube or on the internet. Like, I've paid mentors, I've had actual profitable mentors that have helped me and guided me, and if it wasn't for that, like, I wouldn't be profitable. Like, it's that simple. Because it's not just about how hard you work, it's about what you know, the information, who you know, and if you're applying it. So but people are so afraid to like spend like a small amount of money on a course or a Discord or self-development. But the thing is, like, the way people look at money is just absurd, because it's just a tool. Like, for example, the car I'm sitting in currently is like, it's not an expensive car, but I don't think about that. Like, that's not why I'm trading. Like, for me, I appreciate that I have transportation. I can drive wherever I want, whenever I want. I don't have to go outside in the rain. I don't have to stand and wait for a bus. Like, that's all I need, the freedom to do that. After that, I don't really care. Like, and that's how money works. For you as well, I don't know what you want to achieve, but you probably want freedom. You probably want time and location freedom. But you get to a certain point that when you achieve those things, you realize that the excess money after that doesn't make your life better. It's just a tool, and you need to apply it as a tool, and you need to make it work for you. And the best investment you can make is in yourself. And I promise that whoever joins the Discord, I'm going to do everything I can to help you as much as possible. I'm going to give you all the guidance and help I can give you. I'm going to do weekly live calls, backtesting, trying to answer questions, help people. And I don't charge extra for that stuff. Like, if you're interested to learn, I know the position you're in. I know how it feels. I know I've been there myself, and I really want to help people, because I know how frustrating and painful it is to be at the position you're currently in. And if you're interested in developing further, just click the link in the bio and I'll do everything to help you.